Hi, Bobbie Thompson here, and welcome back to my lesson number 5 on my Learn How to Crochet series. Now in lesson number 5, I'm going to show you how to make a crochet chain. Okay, so the first step in actually making your chain is called yarn over, and that's abbreviated YO. So the next time you see a pattern and it says YO, you'll now know how to do it. Now we use yarn over for every single stitch that we make when crocheting, and that includes making our chain as well. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to do yarn over with the slip knot that we learned in the previous lesson. So when doing yarn over, you want to grab the yarn with your hook from back to front, or in other words, make sure you push the yarn away from you before you grab hold. Now at first you might forget and grab the yarn from front to back, just like this, but this demonstration is wrong, so don't do it this way. So always remember to push your yarn away from you and then pivot the hook towards you. So once you do this and you have the yarn on your hook, this is what we call yarn over. And this is also the first step in making a chain. Okay, so now you're ready to make your chain. Now the chain is abbreviated CH. So again, if you're looking at a pattern and you see the letter CH, that means that you're going to want to chain. Now the first chain that we make will be pulled through the first slip knot loop. So yarn over your hook and pull through your slip knot loop. Now we will make our additional chains by continuing to pull through each loop that we make. So again, make sure that you yarn over and pull through the loop. And this is basically what we call a chain. So what I'm going to do is just keep demonstrating this chain, and I'm going to give you just a few tips while doing this. The first tip is to continue moving your fingers up the chain while you make the chain. So pretty soon your chain's going to get a little too long. And so what you want to do is just continue to move your fingers up the chain just like this. The next thing you want to make sure is that each loop on your chain is the same size as the previous chain. So to make sure your loops are the same size, make sure that your loop goes all the way up onto the hook shaft, just like this. Okay, now if you're finding that your chain is too tight and it's too difficult to draw the hook through the stitch, just try relaxing your hands because you're probably pulling too tightly on the yarn as you're drawing it through. So again, just make sure that your yarn is really loose around your hand. Now if you have the opposite problem and you're chaining too loose, just make sure that you shorten up the distance between your hands. And also make sure the yarn around your hand is a little tighter. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to count your chains. And this is important because most patterns will want you to count your chains before making any additional stitches. When you count your chains, you want to make sure that you're not counting the chain on your hook. So that chain on your hook does not count. So when you do start counting, make sure that you start from the first chain that is right underneath your hook. So when a crochet pattern does call for you to start counting your chains, make sure that you count from your hook to your slip knot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. Now something else to keep in mind is you don't want to count your slip knot as a part of your chain either. So if right now, if none of these tips really make any sense, don't worry about it because as soon as you start crocheting, everything will become more clear. So just use this tutorial as a reference, and if you need any help, please feel free to ask me any questions. Okay, so now that you know how to chain, I'm going to go ahead and have you chain 30 for lesson number 6. And when we get to lesson number 6, we're going to actually start our very first project. I really hope this tutorial was helpful for you. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you again for watching and have a great day.